I'm Lior Shamriz, and I'm presenting my film Cancelled Faces.
And how come you're doing so many movies with Korea? I mean, or with East Asia? The one before was also shot there, if I remember right.
It's not in a row. I made in between. Are we on record now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know not to stop you and cut you.
That's all right.
I made a film, a documentary in China before. It was 2000. I made it 2012. But in between, I did films in Germany, and also So it's not like I'm just working there or anything like it. I did one project in Korea in 2017 in the summer, and now I'm going to come back with a new project that I will shoot there and in Taipei. Yeah. But I also work a lot here in Germany. Mm-hmm. I finished now a project in Los Angeles that I shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But where does the fascination come from about East Asia?
Yeah, I think if I can be very, I'm from Israel originally, and I don't live there, and I work there only rarely. So in a way, for me, it's anywhere. It's can be kind of the same, because in anywhere I'm kind of a foreigner, I guess. And there's something I think in the spirit at this time, that it's a very interesting place to be working in dialogue with, culturally. Yeah, I think that's the main thing that draws me.
Mm-hmm. And where did the idea for this particular movie come from?
Idea. It's a story. I came with the story to Korea, so I came with the story already. I came ready to shoot it in a place where I was never. So you can't say that it came from the place, or it came from my experiences. It came from my personal experiences, mixed with, I guess, an interpretation, a reaction to more, let's say, wider perspective on the reality where I live, I guess. So, and I just like basically, I personally feel this tension. I think I try to portray in the film of, I'd say it's a globalization and autonomy in a way that I know. For me, for example, for my own personal life, I know how joining, I call it the empire, gave me some freedoms when I grew up, and I think it's true for a lot of people. But then you also feel this loss of certain things that maybe at first you are very happy to get rid of, but later on in your life you understand that they are important. I don't know, they are important for life, I guess, for your experience of the world. Mm-hmm. And I think it's this kind of tension is what brought me basically to the story. Like, if you ask me where did the idea come from, that's the answer. It's this feeling of not knowing, of having these two poles, that kind of pull you, and you feel like you are kind of hanging them, like you're on this string in between them, and you ask yourself, where should I go? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's the story of the guys, the two boys, their own life story, and they're like this conspiracy, paranoia without a conspiracy. I think that's how I feel about this film. It's like a conspiracy film without a conspiracy. And also the story that's inside, like this physical theater story about Jerusalem, is pretty much an expression of that tension, of having a global empire, kind of a global empire, that you benefit from joining. You get running water to your house from the aqueduct. It's a good thing to join the empire. But you lose something big. And I even connect it with queer. I think for today, I was with queerness today, and how, for example, how it's being used by people in power in order to submit others, in order to explain why wars are necessary. So I think it's a very apparent way to understand how crucial this tension is to our lives, that it can be used as a tool for war, basically. So that's the connection of I guess, that's the platform for the work.
But if we stay with the story of the two boys, this obsessive love story, and the story of a conspiracy that is not a conspiracy, I mean, he gets very paranoid about it. I found it very fascinating to see this story evolve, to see this obsession. And then I was wondering, why are obsessive love stories interesting? I mean, I have the feeling that love stories very often are about obsessiveness, about things that are not in everyday life. So or what is it that makes them interesting?
It's not it is in everyday life, no? I know it from all around me. Why is it I don't know. It's kind of, it works together, no? Isn't it the same? Yeah, maybe that's my experience. Maybe I'm not in everyday life. I don't know.
So it is a very personal movie.
I would say that without giving any. Yeah, of course it's a person. I think that's one thing is apparent. Yeah, but in a personal way, in a secret way, it's a person.
And
I think I'm a little bit like the character, like that you don't know what he's thinking, even though he tells you the story. You know, that's kind of the thing that's going on there. Like you get his voice, but you actually don't know anything about what's going on in his mind, because you don't know what he thinks. You only know he thinks.
But I had the feeling that he also doesn't really know what is going on with him and inside of him.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, my reference for that is, I know it's in Bertrand Russell, when he writes the history of Western philosophy, he gives this example about his friend who had the gas that he took, and when he took it, he thought he had the answer to the meaning of life. But he forgot it every time he was off the drug, and one time he managed to write down what the meaning of life is while he was high. And I don't remember what, like the answer is like, he was obviously meaningless. So I think it's the same thing. He has the feeling without the thing. He has the sense of reality without reality.
And talking about the other story within the story, the one that is a theater, or it looked like a theater play that was filmed, I mean, people wearing masks. What exactly was it? Was it a real theater play? Where did it come from?
No, we made it for the film.
Okay.
Yeah, I call it a physical theater, I guess. I used to call it dance theater, and I think maybe it's not really dance because they're not dancing. It's more physical because they just move in a weird way and you don't really understand what's going on. Where did it come from? It was. I mean, it's another layer of the same story, I think, for me. I work with these layers, you know. I'm interested in in layering reality. I feel maybe it's that, like, if you layer it, you are able to look at it from the side, I think. So, yeah.
But
sorry that it doesn't make sense. I promise you there is a sense to what I just said. Yeah.
But would you see it as a parallel story to the love story of the boys?
Yeah, it's kind of the same story, no?
Well, so you also see the love story of the boys as a story of invasion and globalization?
Yeah. For me, I mean, yeah, I don't say it's the story of. I would say that's like it comes from the same emotion, the same fears, in a way. It's a way to look at these fears, I think, observe them on a personal level and on a political level, maybe.
Well, a rather maybe curious question, the person or the character of Tiro Sarrazin, which is named in the play, does that actually refer to Tilo Sarrazin?
I think I should say it's not.
Okay.
Because then otherwise it's Libel, I think, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was just
I needed a character that's pure evil.
Yeah.
That represent pure evil, I think. Yeah, so it was an obvious example.
And another thing that I realized in the aesthetic of the movie was that you shot a lot of buildings. You took a lot of shots of buildings, like houses in which a lot of people live. does that also go into this picture of globalization, of people living in cities, of urbanization?
I guess, yeah. I guess that's. I mean, it's not. It's a way to portray characters. I guess for me, that's the process I'm going through. If you look at it from outside, if you look at it and for you, it's a. These are decent apartments. Actually, they are very nice apartments. It's not like slums or anything. It's not like in Europe, where around the banlieue, where actually it's like a nice. These buildings are nice middle class apartments. But I mean, it raises questions, and it raises questions of identity, and it raises questions of, for me, also gentrification, I guess, and our imagination of the past and of and what is how it's connected to our everyday, to our moving in space, I guess. So that's for me an expansion of these characters. It's not that, I don't try to say something about them, like, but it
to me, these buildings also had an air of anonymity, like an anonymous air around them, because you wouldn't see individuals anymore. You just had numbers on the houses, and the house looked completely identical. And
it's a question of anonymity and independence. But I think for me it's more a question. I'm not giving an answer. I'm just putting it out there and just
Did the movie already premiere yet?
No, we do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow? What do you expect? How will the audience react?
I think they will like it. There's nice pictures and good music, and I think it will be good.
All right. Then I wish you a good premiere.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for the interview.
Thank you. Anywhere I'm kind of a foreigner, I guess. And there's something in the spirit at this time that it's a very interesting place to be working in dialogue with, culturally. I think that's the main thing that draws me. I'm Lior Shamriz, and I'm presenting my film Cancelled Faces.
And how come you're doing so many movies with Korea? I mean, or with East Asia? The one before was also shot there, if I remember right?
It's not in a row. I made in between. Are we on record now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. But where does the fascination come from about East Asia?
I think if I can be very, I'm from Israel originally, and I don't live there, and I work there only rarely. So in a way, for me, it's anywhere. It's can be kind of the same, because in any way, it's not like I'm just working there or anything like it. I did one project in Korea in 2017 in the summer, and now I'm going to come back with a new project that I will shoot there and in Taipei. But I also work a lot here in Germany. I finished now a project in Los Angeles that I shot. So I know not to stop you and cut you.
That's all right.
I made a documentary in China before. It was 2000. I made it 2012. But in between, I did films in Germany, and also so.